What's up, everybody? J Heat Sports Media coming at y'all again with that fire as always. Spitting the hot topics and getting the sports conversation started. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Football, basketball, and boxing. Let's get into it. All right, so I wanted to talk about the JMU Dukes. They got one more game this season to play in. The bowl game. Yes, it is upon us. Coming up a week from today, JMU Dukes are playing in Texas against Air Force. This is a big game for JMU for a few reasons. One, we're just like that this year. We've been doing our thing, earning our respect along the way. Made it into the top 25 because we earned it there. Should have been in the top 25 on the college football playoffs, but that's another story for another day. Regardless, we played so well winning our first 10 games of the season, and even with the letdown to Appalachian State in overtime, came back the next week and kicked Coastal Carolina's tail 56-14. By doing that, set us up to be 11-1 on the season and to get a bowl game against Air Force. And this is a big-time game for us. Air Force is no team to play with. They started off the season winning their first 8 games, and they too spent time ranked in the top 25 on the AP poll. So Air Force, kudos to y'all. Air Force happens to have a coach on the team that's got ties to James Madison University, Mark Bako. Shout out to Mark Bako. For those that don't know, Coach Bako used to be a wide receiver for James Madison University when he played there. Bako was a heck of an athlete. I remember having some battles with him on the basketball court too. The brother was a super athlete, make no mistake about it. But more important than just an athlete, he's a good dude in general. And I know that from getting to have a conversation with him. Talked with him about his job over at Air Force. He said for the team, he coaches as their tight end coach right now, but has aspirations to someday be a head coach. I wish you luck on that, Bako. Hopefully it works out for you. I asked him to give me some names of some of their star players and guys that I could talk about on this particular video. I asked him to give me 3 names in particular off the top of his head, and he said none other than Trey Taylor. Shout out to you, Trey Taylor, their safety, who happened to win the Thorpe Award as the nation's top DB. And then he talked about Bo Richard. Apparently Bo Richard at the linebacker position led the team in sacks and was all conference. And then there's Thor. With a name like Thor, you know he must be significant. Thor Paglione, I believe is how you say his last name. If I'm getting that wrong, my apologies, Thor. Thor is the center for the team, calls the O-line plays, also was all conference on the team. According to Coach Bako, these 3 young men are great leaders for Air Force team, and on top of just being leaders, he said they're great men also, great people. They all 3 have a chance to play on the pro level, and I'm wishing them well with that. And if they don't make it to the pros, according to Coach Bako, they will be enlisting in the Air Force as second lieutenants. So regardless of how it works out for you guys, best of luck in your future. Best of luck to you, Bako, and your coaching staff to a certain extent. Obviously, I'm rooting for James Madison University. The same James Madison that did their thing this season, led by Jalen Green, who led the nation in sacks. In just 9 games played, he was leading the nation in sacks with 15.5. And even though he didn't play the last 3 games of the season, it took to the last game for him to be overtaken as the sack leader in the NCAA. And that was only by half a sack. And he did his in 9 games. Spectacular player who should play on the pro level. Then also Jamry Croma, who was in the top 10 in sacks. Can't forget about him. Both these brothers are from Maryland, where I was born. And then also, of course, the quarterback, Jordan McLeod. Jordan McLeod ranked in the top 10 in yards and top 5 in touchdowns thrown this season. JMU has a complete team, a complete package they're bringing to the table, And in Texas, if you don't know, we're familiar with playing at Texas. In Texas, we had a good showing when we played in national championships in the league below the Bowl League, where we won national titles. We got an alumni chapter out there that shows up to represent, and JMU travels anyway, so expect to see us. JMU, best wishes to y'all. I hope we get this done. It should be a tight, tough game because the defenses are both great. And Air Force, based on the yards they allow a game and points they allow a game, might be a little better of a defense than even JMU. But we're well balanced and we got that offense to go with it. So I'm picking JMU to win this game. I'm going to go with 27-21 is the score. But regardless, best of luck to both squads. Rooting for JMU, of course, and Coach Bako, you're my man. Holla at you. All right, that's all the time I got. Y'all know what it is, and you know who you looking for. J Heat Sports Media. Remember to like, subscribe, or get at me in the comments. Let's go back and forth. Let's talk about it. You know where to find me. YouTube, Instagram, X, and TikTok.